Hello everyone and welcome. Today we are going to make a bead grass wreath. So this is a bead grass fern wreath. It is still very popular this year. It was super trendy last year and it is still popular this year. I think we might have done one last year, but we're going to do a little bit different one this year. And we do have a kit for this wreath. Now it will cover the greenery and the ribbon. It does not include the wreath that you need to use. So the grapevine wreath you will need to supply, but the greenery and the ribbon are in a kit together to make this wreath. I will have it linked down in the description. Let's go ahead and get started. This is a little bit different style of wreath than I normally do, but it's quick and easy and it's great for if you sell and need to do multiples, double door wreaths, things that you can make quickly over and over. So it's an everyday type wreath that can be used all year round. And we are going in with this burlap ribbon. So we are going to make our bow. And I'm going to make our tails. We may cut them down, but I'm going to make it about 18 inches right now. And then we can trim it once we get on our wreath. And I'm going to go out to about 7 inches. And we're going to go 3 loops on each side. So I am just twisting there in the middle. I'm going down to 7 inches on my bow maker. You could do this by hand if you prefer. I just find it easier to use my bow maker when I'm using multiple ribbons. So we're going to do same size loops. And we're going to do 3 of them. And you can change up the ribbon if you want, but this is what will be in the kit. We're just keeping it very neutral, almost a little farmhouse style. Doesn't have to be, but with the burlap, just kind of reminds me of that. Okay, so now we're just going to kind of fan out our 3 loops here just a little bit. And I'm going to cut my tail. Again, we'll trim those. We'll trim those later. Okay, now I'm just going to go in with a black and white gingham. Again, use whatever ribbon you want, but if you get the kit, this is the ribbon that will be in the kit. Okay, and we're just going to go 2 loops on each side, and we're going to go in about 6 inches with this one. And if you want, I can show you real quick. If you don't want to just do the same style, maybe you wanted tails going up, you could just put a tail going up and then create a loop. So 6 inches. So you can do whichever style you like. If you wanted a tail of the burlap going up, you can always just add in a tail, just like that. Now you've got a little burlap tail. So it's whatever style of bow that you want. Okay, I think I'm just going to do a very simple bow. So again, I'm going to go 6 inches on both sides. And we're going to do 2 loops of this ribbon. Now, if you want to go back in with the burlap and do 1 loop of the burlap on top of this, you can. You could bring in another ribbon. Again, I'm just going to leave it very simple. So that is going to be my bow. Okay, I'm going to get a zip tie and a pipe cleaner here. Before I make it too tight, I'm going to slide this pipe cleaner through the back so I can get it through the back of my grapevine. You can use a zip tie too. I've done either way. I just grabbed it, so it's whatever you prefer. And if you want to clean up your center, you can go in and just add a little piece of ribbon there. I'm not going to worry about it. You don't really see it. So I'm going to leave it just like that. Okay. Now we are going to be using a 14-inch grapevine. So if you buy the kit, you will have plenty of supplies for a 14-inch. If you want to make a bigger grapevine, you will want to add some additional product to it. But everything in the kit is plenty to make this 14-inch grapevine wreath. I'm just going to flip that over and tie off my bow back here. And after we get done, I'll hit that with a little bit of glue just so it's not going to go anywhere. But we have our bow. We'll mess with our tails and all that later. All right, so we're just going to be using 2 greeneries. This is going to be super easy. We are going in with this fern. And I have already cut up one. So I'm going to go right in the center of that bow there. I'm going to go right there. This is just going to go out to probably about right here. So think about right there will be where I'm going to stop this. Okay, I'm going to get right back there. Now I don't want it too tall, so I'm going to lift up my loops and get that in there. I have a little bit of a hole right here. I'm going to slide that down in my grapevine. I give that a little bit more glue there. So I'm just kind of working my way around here with this greenery. Oh, it just touched the microphone. That was hot, y'all. I think I'm going to put this little piece right here because we need to fill in this little section so that we don't have a gap. And we're going to have our fern, our button fern. This is a fern too, but we'll have our button fern in here as well. So we have more greenery. Okay, I'm going to cut up just a couple pieces. So your kit will come with 2. You can make this part as full as you want. I am going to add just a couple pieces. We may not use the whole thing. Obviously, we'll have some at the end if we need to fill in as well. I'm going to put a couple of these smaller pieces. Up underneath our bow here, kind of coming towards the center. I'm going to put this piece a little bit right in here. I think I want another piece right over here. And then we'll stop with this. We're going to work on our button fern and then we can add more later. Okay, I'm going to take this smaller piece and get it added. I don't want to stick it too far out on the side. We might go ahead and add one more little piece right here before we move on to the fern. I'll put that piece right there. And I think we're good. I'm gonna stop right there with this. We'll save that for later and we'll come back to it. Okay, now we are gonna go in with our beaded button fern grass. And we're just basically gonna be doing the same thing. We're gonna tuck some pieces in here and just layer. These are pusher bushes, which are nice. If you don't know what pusher bushes means, you can just push these little leaves up and make your stems as long or as short as you need them. Okay, so I am just gonna layer these in between that fern there. I'm gonna actually go behind on this one. So we're just blending it all together. Just gonna get another one. I'm gonna push that up there. I'm gonna go behind this one. And where we start to kind of see a little bit of a hole, we can fill in. So I'm going to just fill this little hole section in right there. We're just going to work our way around. So I'm doing some pieces on top of that first fern bush that we did, and then I'm doing some pieces underneath the fern bush. So we're just layering them. This one, I'm going to get a little, that one didn't want to push very well for me, so I'm going to get a little bit shorter one. To go in this section right here, because as we start going towards the side, I don't want it sticking too far out. I want our shape to stay relatively where I want it here. But again, these are really simple. Great for double doors, great for multiples. And these button fern wreaths are really popular. So I've been showing you guys some simpler items. We did a simple arrangement last week. It's perfect for like Mother's Day. This will be a simple everyday type wreath. Just starting to kind of transition down now. So we went around and now I'm starting to transition my fern going at a downward angle. I'm going to go up underneath this bow here with that piece. I'm going to go ahead and open it. You're going to get 2 of these in your kit. You can use as much or as little as you want. So I'm going to get another piece. And going under here so that make sure that went in good. Didn't seem like it went in very well. Nope, it didn't. It bent on me. Let's try it again. I'm gonna go another piece right in here underneath our little loops. Okay, and I'm just gonna kind of look and see where we might need a little, like I think underneath this loop right here, we need a little piece. Okay, now let's just, we're pretty much done. Diesel. Sorry, y'all, Diesel decided to knock over the trash can because he was trying to look out the window. All right, so let's clean up our bow. We almost could even put one more piece, let me see, underneath this bow here. Or underneath this loop. Glue gun is not wanting to cooperate with me, of course. It's like when it gets too hot because it's been on for a minute, it like doesn't have to force it out. Okay, there it goes. All right, now let's do our little tails. I'm just going to do them at a diagonal. And I'm going to do this one a little shorter than my burlap. And there we have our easy bead grass wreath. Now, you could, if you want, because we have some greenery pieces, we could drop this greenery down just a little bit more. So since we still have 3 pieces left of this, as well as a couple pieces of the first one, you can go in and we can drop this to make it a little bit longer. Okay, so let's get a couple of these pieces added. It's completely up to you. You can make them as long as you want or have it, you know, on the shorter side. Personal preference, but since we have them, I might as well use them. So we'll just drop that down just a little bit. Now, had I thought about it, I probably wouldn't have cut my tails until I did that, but we're still fine. I think the bow is still perfectly fine. I'm not going to go any longer than that. Okay, and now we'll just add a couple of these little grass pieces. And blend that in there. Got one more. And now we just drop that greenery down just a little bit more with some of those pieces that we had. So easy, easy, easy. Everyday wreath. Use whatever ribbon you want, whatever kind of bow you want. But we just mixed those two ferns together and made a super popular little beaded fern wreath. So I hope you guys enjoy this tutorial. Until next time, bye y'all.